Okay, in this video, I'm not going to go through the whole process again to show you how to do the entire hypothesis test for this example. So please watch the previous video to make sure that you don't miss out on anything. But I will just real briefly here give us an overview of what we're doing so that I can show you how to use the calculator. So recall that this problem, we are trying to test the claim about some mean value and sigma is unknown. So we're going to use a t-distribution where the degree of freedom is 124. The claim is that on average, freshman students gain 15 pounds. And so that becomes our null hypothesis. That's the original claim. The alternative hypothesis then is that the mean value is not 15 pounds. So you can see here we have a two-tailed test on the t-distribution. If you want to go ahead and mark the critical values on the bell-shaped curve on the right on that t-distribution, so this is step 3, our critical value is going to be a t sub alpha divided by 2 value. So our critical value is alpha divided by 2, which in this problem, that critical value is t sub 0.025. So we can use inverse t and type in 1 minus the area on the right and our degrees of freedom, and that's how you get that number 1.98. Okay, but this video is focusing on how do we get the test statistic and the p-value using the graphing calculator so that we can avoid having to use formulas. And the answer is anytime that you are testing a claim and that claim is about a mean value and sigma is unknown, you will always do a t-test. T because you're on the t-distribution, all right? And test because you want to do a hypothesis test. So on the calculator, I've got a screenshot of the calculator here. You're going to press the stat button. And then to get to the t-test, you're going to tab over to test and then choose option 2, which you'll see is t-test. This will bring up the next screen. In the next screen, for your input, you can choose data or you can use stats. Data is when you actually have the data set. So if you have like an Excel spreadsheet where you have the weight gain of all participants in the study, then you can use that spreadsheet and type in data. In this situation, because we actually, because we don't have the data, but we do have some sample statistics, so we know that the sample size is 125, sample mean is 2.7 pounds, and sample standard deviation is 6.4. We're going to choose that second option called stats, and then we're going to type in all of those sample statistics. So on your calculator, your mu naught value is the value that's in the null hypothesis. So you're going to type in 15 and then type in the sample mean value. So here we would type in 2.7 pounds, type in the standard deviation, which is 6.4, and then also type in your sample size, which is 125. And then this next step here, this is really important that you get correct. Make sure that you choose the option that matches up with whatever you wrote in the alternative hypothesis. So in the alternative hypothesis, notice you have the not equal sign. Choose the option that matches the alternative hypothesis because this is saying, so this is your alternative hypothesis. We're saying that the mean value is not equal to the null hypothesis value of 15. And then press calculate. Your calculator will give you all the results. So in this bottom screen here, the results that your calculator will give you from doing a t-test is the first thing your calculator will do is it will give you the alternative hypothesis. So mu not equal to 15 should show up first. So always look at that line to make sure that it's correct. This is the most common mistake that students make is they write their hypothesis correctly in the first step, but then they type in the wrong symbol in the t-test, okay? So your calculator will give you a t value, which is 21.49, which is similar to what we got when we used the formula. That is your test statistic. So this right here is your test statistic. The next value, p, this is your p value. And notice that it gives it to you as 1.262847 e to the negative 43. So let me move to the bottom here in step 4 and talk about this p-value. So negative 1.26, and I won't write out all the decimals, but I'll write out e negative 43. This is your calculator's way of writing very, very small numbers in scientific notation. So this number is really 1.26 times 10 to the negative 43, which is basically .00 with 42 zeros, and I don't even have enough space to write all 42 zeros, and then 126. So that is a very, very, very small decimal, so small that we might as well call it zero, okay? So pay attention to when your calculator gives you p-values like this, right? Remember, a p-value is a probability, so it's always a number between 0 and 1 inclusive. So if you're getting, and I shouldn't have put that negative sign there, it should have just been 1.26. So anytime that you're getting a number on your calculator for a p-value and it's a number that's greater than 1, so here 1.26, that just means that you have to make sure you read the rest of the problem. So don't forget that there's more to that problem and continue reading it and then realize that that is a very, very small decimal. So this is how you would use your calculator to do a t-test. It gives you your test statistic. So our test statistic, negative 21.49, it gives you your p-value, and then you can use those results to do step 5 and 6, which is to make a conclusion about the null hypothesis and then restate it using words, okay?